Last week, NIO stock fell by around 7%, causing investors more hurt as this stock continues to underperform the broader market. So the question is, should you keep holding NIO stock if you're already invested? Or perhaps, should you buy more at this bargain price? In this video, I'm going to talk around the current price action of NIO stock and just offer a few insights of perhaps future price direction. So firstly, we can see that last week NIO did fall around 7%. On Monday, it opened at 367 and closed at 381. Tuesday, the price pushed higher before Wednesday, Thursday and Friday were bearish days, with Friday having a large sell-off in tune with the wider market downturn. And NIO did fall through this key 360 support level last week, and it looks as if now it's trying to find support around this $3.20 level. And looking at Monday's price action, it does appear that some buyers have come in at the 320 level to push price back up, and we do have a reversal bar suggesting there is some support here with some buying interest. So it'll be interesting to see what NIO does this week, whether it pushes up higher and tries to get back above this 360 level. And if we look at the bigger picture on the weekly chart, we can see NIO has been in a downtrend since the peak of around $66 back in January 21. So it is in a long-term downtrend. More recently, the price action has been sideways from this low in April 24. And for a short time, it did look as if it was trying to break out to the upside by breaking through this short-term trend line. But if you look closely, it found resistance at around $7.60, which is the bottom of the longer-term trend line. So clearly there is resistance here at this 770 level, and price needs to get above here to really show that NIO has some momentum and buyers are coming back into this popular EV stock. So following the breakout of the trend line, it tried to push up, but the selling pressure was too strong, and price then fell away into the low in January 25 of around $4. And then of course, after a small pickup here up to 541, price fell away following the negative earnings report and the wider market downturn last week. So NIO has now fallen through this key support level of around $3.60, where it found support back in April 24 and also August 24. However, last week it did fall through this key level and is now looking to try and find support around the $3.20 level. So Monday yesterday showed some buying interest with price reversing, but of course it's just one day. We need to see what the entire week will do, whether the selling pressure will continue or if buyers are going to come back in and push the price back up. So right now the risk is towards the downside with NIO, and you may be wondering whether, because price has dropped, you should buy more stock. And that's up to you. At the moment it's high risk, and it does depend on your overall strategy. If you're looking to trade this stock short term, now's not the time to buy in. But of course, if you're accumulating this stock for the long term, maybe 3 to 5 years, then you could consider buying into NIO. But it is high risk. And based on the financial reports after the Q4 earnings report, it doesn't look good. So it may be best to wait until the financial health of the company improves. Now, if NIO fails to find support at this temporary level here of $3.20, where could it go to next? Well, based on the chart, it looks as if there is some support around this level here, around $2.30. And then if it falls through there, it might go down to the $2 mark. Beyond that would be the all-time low, which is around $1.20. And that was made back in September 19. So right now, the technicals indicate NIO is falling and is a high-risk investment. It's always tempting to buy more stock when the price appears more attractive, but how can you confirm the price has stopped falling? Right now, if you were to look at this chart, it's clear the price is going down and NIO is in a long-term trend. The long-term trend is down, the medium-term trend is down, and also the short-term trend is down. So any way you look at it, the price is falling. So buying in now is very, very high risk. So when would be the right time to buy into NIO? It all depends on your investment strategy, whether you're looking short, medium, or long term. Based on the chart data, it does appear that price would need to break this longer term trend line here and get above $6 to really show that it's starting some upward trajectory. Moving above $6 would clear all this price action here and would indicate that NIO is starting to move up. And I think based on the previous price action, getting above this peak here of 770 and breaking the trend line would indicate that NIO is starting to make a move up. So if you were to enter above the $6 mark, there is an upside potential to the 770 peak of around 30%, which is great. And if you kept holding and NIO continued to trend upwards, there is an upside potential of 150% up to that peak of around $15.50. So there is lots of upside with NIO, but right now the price is falling, so you have to be cautious. Right now the NIO trend is down and investor sentiment is very negative, especially after the Q4 earnings report. NIO just didn't deliver the numbers that investors were expecting and posted heavy losses. Now, of course, we know they are investing heavily in infrastructure and launching multiple brands this year, including the ET9, NIO's Firefly, and also the Onderwell 60. But the sales are improving, that's really positive, but they're not enough to drive the share price and convince investors to come back in. But that might change over 2025. I think this year is going to be a key year for NIO. If they can start to boost sales and start to reduce their losses, I think investor sentiment is going to shift and money will come pouring back in. So right now, if you're holding NIO, whether you keep holding it, that's up to you based on your strategy. But it is high risk to be buying in right now. I think it's probably best to wait a few months to see where price moves and if it can break that long-term trend line and get above $6. Thanks for watching.